Hello, it's Paul the Ripples guy. Do you remember me? I haven't made a pep talk in a while. I took some time off in December, and then in January, I've been hard at work making a couple things that you don't get to see just yet, but I promise my absence does not mean I haven't been working. I owe you some pep talks, and I want to make a couple pep talks over the coming weeks. And this one has to do with something that I picked up over break. I was having a problem with my trusty little Apple Watch, and it was doing this thing and blah, blah, blah. I won't get into the details. Usually what happens with me with tech is I put up with something and then finally I'm like, and then I Google it and I find it out. I'm not the only one, and someone has figured out a solution. So I go Google, how do I blah, blah, blah. And there were a couple threads that were started, and this one guy said, yeah, it's a thing that it happens. What I have found is that if I just restart my Apple Watch, it solves the problem every time. And somebody responded like, yeah, but Apple Watch, they should make it blah, 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 and they should be able to fix it so it doesn't do that, which is probably true, by the way. I'm saying blah, 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 but they made a valid point. This person said, yeah, you're probably right. But until they do that, this is what I found really works for me. I put a note in my calendar for every Friday morning to restart my watch, and it prevents the problem from happening, so my problem is solved. And what I loved about that is he's not waiting for Apple to fix something, and even if the person is right that Apple should fix it, this is solving the problem. And the person's response was, yeah, well, that's really inconvenient. And he's like, well, it might be for you. For me, having a reminder just takes care of it for me, and it's really not a big deal. But he admitted that when the problem was having it was usually when he was in the middle of a run, and it was very inconvenient to have to stop his watch and keep, which would stop the tracking of all these other things he uses the watch for. So I was fascinated by this, and I reset my watch, problem solved. I set up a reminder on my Apple phone every Friday morning at 9 a.m. It says, have you reset your Apple Watch this week? And if not, I just reset it. And it's a couple minutes of me not having my watch. It's no big deal. But like a few days later, when I was starting to really come down from having been really, really stressed and needing my holiday time, I was thinking, God, I need to do resets more often than just in July and December when I usually take downtime. And for some reason, that lined up with the fact that I just put this little weekly reminder about resetting my Apple Watch. I'm like, shut up. Can I just remind myself once a week to do some little reset things? And it's got me randomly doing a bunch of little things that aren't necessarily de-stressor when something is really big freaking out, but little things that help me reset and refresh, and it is working wonderfully. So, where in your calendar would be a good time for you to have a little reminder pop up that would just say, how do I need to reset? And then do it. All right? It's raining, so I'm going to go back inside now. All right? More pep talks coming in January and February. All right? Bye-bye.